Thank you, Zyori, Cinderin. Why are you? I just literally said your name.
It wasn't you. I was last chances better than in game 1. I'm still siding with VP as well because I think they're just that bit better, at least based on the games we've seen, including that last game. There's a lot of reason to believe VP will clean sweep here, but I do think overall in terms of the laning this time, I think Viking should have a better time. I think the Snapfire matchup is better for Doom than the DP one is. This time they don't have a PA against Slaughter, but they have a Sven against what is probably going to be a Magnus, right? So, like, their side lane should be off to a better start, flat out, and then we'll see how that leads into the mid game.
Stormhammer onto 2 already. Gush to follow. This is going to be a big team fight to start the game out as Shad is taking the brunt of the damage. And GPK with the first blood. I believe that's 2 games in a row now that he has started things out that way. And Sven being the first to fall is not good if you're a Viking fan.
Okay. Shannon, let me tell you a secret about level 1 fights.
30 seconds.
Rule number 1. Don't go on the ET. He hits really hard. Unless you have the spell combo to actually just blast him right away. He throws the spirit. I think he got the spirit on 3 or 4 heroes, and he started hitting for about 200 damage there, or 150 I think it was. 150 damage, 8 armor, and he's a strength hero. So yeah, he was the one walking up, and it was for good reason, because there's only 1 stun and not that much spell burst, so he figured he could live. He gets them the info, he gets the kill. And VP are off to a good start. They get 3 bounty runes. They get some intel about laning. They know it's Io Sven bottom, in case there was any doubt about that. And they're going to make their ways to their respective lanes. Epikid already top, and it will be GPK mid and DM bottom as expected. Yeah, I think compared to last game, I wonder if Viking are going to try to play faster this time. Sven obviously needs an item or 2, similar to PA, but last game they were dodging for a good 30 minutes. I think this time they're more willing to get involved, because Doom will have a better time, and the enemy team will be cooldown reliant in a different way, I think, than last game.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that mid lane. So last time around, obviously, it was Doom versus DP, not a great matchup. Now it's Doom versus Snapfire. This feels like it would be a better lane for Doom. Am I correct in assuming such things?
I think it will. I don't know if I've seen this lane played before. It's definitely not the first time it has happened in Pro Dota. It's probably been happening a few times, but I have not seen any of the games in which it did, if there have been some. But like, just theoretically, right? DP destroys melee heroes because she has that constant harassment, and Snapfire in a way can do the same thing with Scatterblast, but I just don't know if her damage is overwhelming enough when Doom gets level 3. Gets that 2 in Devour, the 5 health regen, gets a Bracer. I think he'll be just fine. It's not the same category, but we'll see. Ready to learn here?
I love learning with you, Cinder. We should make a PBS special about that one of these days. I'm sure it'll be...
PBS, peanut butter sandwich, right?
Yep, that's right. I forgot that you're not American. Sorry.
Yeah. It was the best thing I could come up with from an American. If it fits with food, it's like, you love talking about food, so it's probably that. We should make a peanut butter sandwich. I was like, yeah, that sounds like something you would say during a cast.
You can't pigeonhole me into like talking about... I like talking about everything. Not like you, which only likes talking about Dota, Syndrome. You're a one-man pony show. See?
PBS, point-based system, like in basketball.
There you go. You got it.
All right. Second try.
Just keep telling you you're correct until you're actually correct one day.
Until you shut up.
Or that. That's probably more preferable, actually. Bramble already used the time walk, so we'll be forced to TP out. Takes some damage, but does TP to the tier 1, so he'll be back in action right away.
Of course, is ensuring that there's a free pull here for Crystal Maiden by playing up that aggressively in the lane. They've pushed all the way to the tower, and he knows that by staying there and keeping 2 heroes there, Maiden will get to make this pull. He's trying to for the chain, but did not get that on the trolls, so... And here come Aramis and Tobit to try to clean up and get the rest of the creep wave. But, well, so far so good for VP, right? The 3 lanes are off to a good start. There's, of course, a little bit of inflation from the 3 bounty runes in the first blood. But Snapfire definitely doing very well in this matchup, just like DP was. Pretty much the same scoreline in the mid lane in CS. Doom eating the Centaur here. I was wondering if he was going to eat the small Centaur, actually. Just for that extra magic resistance against the Snapfire, but chose to get the Stomp creep. Not really sure if he's ever going to find a play with this in that lane, though, but he has it for later.
It's always good to have that in your back pocket because God knows when you need it, they never show up in the jungle. So just get it while you can.
That's
and
very
get
true.
greedy.
I do think he'll
When you go,
possibly replace it for an ice armor, though, if he finds that.
well, the ice armor, as we saw last game, very good. Allowed him to not lose the lane as horribly as he probably should have, as Ilias forcing Armis out of the top lane for now. And in terms of the regen, very low on regen overall. So VP pressuring them out for the time being. As Epileptic Kid, I mean, look at the CS, 18-4 versus the Sven, 20-4. Relatively even overall. Of course, I mean, do we even need to talk about Sven? I think most people that have been watching Dota, unless you've been living under a rock, knows exactly how Sven games will go. So I'll just try not to mention the hero until it's absolutely necessary. Until he's flying in the air, he will not be mentioned for this entire game.
All right, so in 12 minutes.
That's right. Very soon we'll talk about it.
Okay. Fair.
He will be going Midas. I've already broken my rule because it's just, you know, I always like to see the different itemizations that we come to see here. What do you think of Hannah Midas this game for the old Sven?
I'm not...
Bit greedy?
I'm not knowledgeable enough on this to know when it's better than Midas, or sorry, than Mask of Madness, though. I'm not fully sold that this is better than Mom in this game, because I think, like, if you're looking to go jungle anyway, and you're looking for, like, isn't Mask of Madness just kind of a better Midas for this hero most of the time? You get a way faster way of farming Ancients reliably. You get the active attack speed that's way stronger than the Midas, and the items cost about the same. So it's about the levels, right? That's the primary difference. You're probably not getting more gold out of your Midas. I don't know. Not sure.
Well, he could change his mind here. I thought you were actually opening up with a joke because you were making it seem like you didn't have a big enough sample size to understand what items are good on Sven. But you ended up saving yourself. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
How much more do you need?
Haven't seen that much Sven in this patch. Gotta need to wait and see where he goes. All right, so he went phase boots, so this could be the reason. I'm still not sure, and it might just be player preference. I believe most Svens I've seen recently go Mask of Madness. So that's something we would have to ask Shad if they were to win this. I think it would be a pretty interesting question, honestly, because, you know, sometimes a lot of players like to just autopilot their item builds, but even the smallest things down to your starting items actually show a lot about how people think about the game.
Toby top lane. Oh, he ends up going down to Ilias's Crystal Nova. So the top lane dominance continues.
Maiden Void killing Tide.
Yeah, they didn't shy away from the Tide. They didn't shy away from picking the Doom.
Oh my god, this ET is hitting so damn hard bottom.
Accelerate. He will live though.
Yeah.
Astral Spirit not up for another 5 seconds.
They do bully them out of lane though. This is a Magnus off lane. Because of this ET being this powerful, they can actually force them out of lane. And Sven, I don't really want a jungle level 4. You would like to wait a little bit longer on that Sven. He will come back, of course, just taking a small camp, but has to be careful with save being this powerful.
So being pressured out of both top and bottom. So mid lane is the most even, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah. GPK got first blood on the first fight, though. So
that's true.
That doesn't help.
If we look at the net worth, obviously a 400 net worth lead from GPK's perspective over the Doom. But I mean, Doom will catch up in all likelihood because of that Devour ability. It's actually just bouncing left and right between abilities. And he actually ate the Wolf Creep, took the crit, and now he's taking the Mud Golem. So the old.
I don't know if he meant to take the Golem. I don't know if that's worth it.
Maybe he's expecting to die because it feels really good when you're dead and you turn into the Mud Golem. And you have 2 more.
Yeah, that feels amazing. Just makes you want to die all the time. That's
exactly.
Really good.
Yeah, it might have been a misclick, but we'll see what
I think he didn't realize he had Devour toggled, but I'm not sure. Speaking of items, I find something interesting here in the Snapfire's build. This is extremely mana-intensive build. He went for Bottle and Soul Ring with Crystal Maiden Aura in the team, so really spamming those spells out. It's not uncommon for Snaps to go very mana-intensive because, you know, that's how you farm. You need to spam Scatterblast as much as possible, but you could have imagined maybe you could have bypassed Bottle or Soul Ring when you have Maiden Aura, but he's just all in on this, really maximizing that farm. All right, he threw the boulder mid. There it was.
Yeah, there's the TP. They're going to start it out with the cookie into the... Was going to Chronosphere. There it is. And with the Mortimer Skits, it's going to be more than enough to take out Doom. So a very good rotation there from Epileptic Kid to set that up. And it just feels like, I mean, they're not really leading in terms of net worth by that much right now. I mean, they don't really have like a an exorcism type, like a death prophet that will push the tower, at least pressure to that degree at least, right? So that's one good thing from the Vikings perspective, but it just feels like every lane is at the very least slightly losing right now.
I just want to say that is a textbook play of what I love to see a carry void doing. That move is you're level 6, you're doing well in your lane and you're farming, but can you do something better? Like, can you do a higher impact play? And he goes mid, gets that chrono, and now he's back to top. So it was a little bit of a detour. He lost some CS overall, but that kill is well worth it. Instead of just sitting on this cooldown top that you can't use into the tide, find a way of using your big spell so that you can quote-unquote earn your farm, right? No, he made space for his team. Go farm some creeps for 2 minutes. And they found Sven bottom as well with a big rotation there. So gpk took advantage of that rotation mid to then go bottom and kill Sven. Just really, really good stuff from VP.
Indeed. Well, Bramble into the Cursed Crown. gpk being chased now. Shad has the Stonehammer available along with the God Strength. This is going to be the first team fight of the game. But the Doom applied to gpk will ensure that he will die one way or the other. Finally goes down. So Viking on the board officially, Cinder. It took a lot of effort, it feels like.
They want to take control of these 10-minute runes as well with this. They did use the Doom. His smoke's going to break from Ilias here. So yeah, Doom
Hammer is up.
Boom on the Doom with the good counterplay there to bottom lane.
Ancient Stack is a nice steal.
Oh, that's a bonus. I'm not sure if this is what they came for, but maybe. I mean, they know they're playing against Mag, so this camp is likely stacked, but I think they also just wanted the area for the 10-minute runes.
Yeah, Echo's come to start things out. Armus is there with pressure from Doom. They're going to be able to take out the Elder Titan in all likelihood, but Snapfire all from afar. The Skewer going to save him for a bit, but Sven ends up going down again. So the second death in not very much time at all. And now the bounty runes have spawned. Io able to save one teammate, but Armus not going to be so lucky. So VP coming back with a vengeance.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not sure, how did the bounty runes go this time around? Looks like Viking did end up getting them.
Yeah, Viking got that one rune. There's still one bottom and one top, so Viking technically could get all 4, but this bottom rune will definitely not be there. So maybe 3 for 1. It might look really bad, but they stole that fat ancient stack, or at least most of it, and Tide was not involved. So he got like 2 or 3 free waves top, and he's pushing the tier 1 tower. So overall, I think if you're Viking, that's all right. You also forced out the Snapfire ulti, of course, to get those kills in return. But Chrono is available.
That might be in trouble again, Cinderman.
Oh no.
He spots
gets cornered.
Support.
Nice movement.
Coming. Oh, Epileptic Hit misses the Chronosphere onto the Sven, but it's not really going to matter. It zones him out in the corner regardless, and down he goes. Toby's here, but there's a nice RP onto 2 heroes into the Skewer to follow. Armus extremely low. That's 2 deaths in the blink of an eye in VP's favor, and they're not stopping yet. Celery attached to Toby right now. Cookie onto both. And this is a complete disaster. Ravage is used now.
Ravaged.
And this looks to be a 4-for-0 for VP. Ay. And on top of that, gpk will have his Ags extremely soon. This is one of the fastest Snapfire Ags I've seen.
Is under attack.
Yeah, he's looking at 12 minutes. 13 minutes probably he's going to have it. That is pretty terrifying. He has some really good friends to use it with. You can toss in the Mag and he can skewer back, so you give him a free dagger. You can toss in the Void for a Chrono. You can toss in the ET, especially if he already has his Astral Spirit returned to himself. You just toss in this bomb. It's a really good snap game. They're going to try to get save here with Boom as well as Celery, but the slow from Ilias should be enough. Oh, they're going to counterplay.
Oh, Snapfire. Oh, this is going to be enough to take out Celery. Doesn't look like it. Another 2 seconds and he's going back to base, but Boom is left to his own devices. A very sad day for Boom on Doom. And he's just going to get actually uses the Doom onto gpk. Question mark?
Yeah, that is...
What? Why?
That is really ungood.
Thank you for that perfect analysis. Ungood. Quote it now. Cinder in 2020. Ungood. As the tier 1 tower top will fall, so Viking does get something out of this space, I guess you could call it, but that is not the hero you want. Like, typically it'd be a position 5, you'd be okay with that, right? But that's a mid-Doom.
Yeah.
And he uses his long cooldown ultimate.
Yeah, so you're gonna have this overlap now where VP have all their spells again and you don't have Doom, and there's a Snapfire Ags. We're talking about that, we're painting this picture that VP are absolutely destroying them, and they're up 12-2. The gold lead isn't that big, but again, there's the Doom factor, so keep that in mind with your gold graph. And it's also just the timing of the game, right? VP's lineup is really coming together with the snap ags. So their effective net worth is just crazy right now. This 4k gold is insane for the next 5 to 10 minutes minimum.
Dire's middle tower is under
Oh
attack.
boy,
Gotta be really careful.
Right past the illusion.
They find
really
save.
Good play from VP.
Shad
is going to be spotted, and there's the gobble up, and instant death with a shotgun in the back of the face. VP are running away with this game, it feels like. This tier 1 tower is now going to be pressured.
Are fortified.
And we'll see if this Sven Midas ends up paying off in the long run, Cinder. He is 0-5 right now. He's going for Echo Saber. And on the other side, Epileptic Kid did not opt for anything relating to a Midas as the Mask of Madness. Which makes sense because you do have Empower. I mean, you can farm really fast on a Void in a game like this.
Yep. Empower is one hell of a drug.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Now,
Just
Boom
keep
is
it
getting
rolling.
close to BKB for himself.
Oh, they're thinking about something mid.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Radiant scan, but you can see GPK and Save is actually just move clicked on GPK. He's AFK. It's like, send me a text when you use gobble up.
Oh boy.
They
Boom,
split
bottom
up a little
lane.
bit.
I hear an
okay?
IO coming in, so they do have to be a little bit careful from VP's perspective. It's IO by himself, so this is just for a save on Boom. As Epileptic Kid does get off the Chronosphere, so this looks to be... It should be a save pretty easy.
Ice armor, he's fine.
And away they go. RP used as well. So 2 big cooldowns for VP are down.
I mean, that works on the way out, not on the way back.
Yes.
Thank
you, Cinder.
That was okay.
Dire's top tower.
Interesting.
Is under
It was
attack.
something.
It was
We're
something.
seeing a lot of quote-unquote interesting plays thus far. I mean, like you talking about, the net worth is technically an advantage of Viking right now.
Oh, Doom mid. Oh my god, it's so filthy.
They're Titan. They have so many setups for this.
Snapfire is so dirty, man. It's like...
It will be my pleasure.
It's actually just crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
So you toss in Elder Titan, he gets off an Echo Stomp, and you get basically a free at least 3 or 4 Mortimer Kisses on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't only toss him in, you toss in the aura, right? It's a guaranteed natural order on the target every time. You just know that that guy is going to lose all armor and magic resist when you throw them in.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Crazy combination.
14-2, and it's even net worth. This really does feel like an Alchemist game, doesn't it?
It does.
Doom obviously not on the same level in terms of farming, but it's crazy to see. Ilias uses ultimate. It's going to get canceled with both the Curse Crown and the Terrorized. Celery's coming in. There's a big Toby ult. Ravage onto 3. Do they have the damage to follow this up? The Doom is going to be applied to save, along with the Gush to fall. They're just going to continue on, but there, DM jumps in with the Skewer. Looks like they'll have a little bit of damage here to be able to finish off the Elder Titan, who's buy back into the game immediately. Epileptic Kid time walks most of that damage off. The Cookie to follow now. This will probably turn in VP's favor if they're not careful. Jad still in his ultimate form. This will be a dieback on to save, but here's the Mortimer's Kiss. It's doing massive damage. Looks like Toby will be the sacrificial lamb, if nothing else. Doom pops. Forced to pop his BKB as the fight continues. VP getting cleaved down by Shad, but doesn't have enough damage to actually take anybody out. So despite this buyback onto the Elder Titan, not able to find any more kills to follow this up with.
Is under attack.
Now VP, it's a 2-for-1 with the buyback. Neither really has that much physical damage, and there's the gobble up onto 2. Elder Titan ult to follow, and this game is just getting out of hand in favor of VP.
Dude, Dota's sound design is so good. What can I say? Like, the sound for gobble up flying... It's just hilarious. I don't know. That was the highlight of that fight for me. That's what I want to analyze on. Awesome
Thanks,
sound
Adrian.
design.
Great job, Valve. You did a great job on sound design.
That was, I mean, honestly, a really tooth and nail fight. That could have gone either way. Viking were really, really close to breaking that fight way open, but I think ultimately the biggest problem here is Sven doesn't have the freedom to move yet. He needs that one extra item. He needs the eggs or the BKB, and these fights look so different. Because, yeah, you do land these spells, but eventually your hero gets kited. There's a lot of problems. There's the ET Stomp, there's the Maiden Slow, there's Skewer, Snapfire Cookie, and they even took advantage of Gobble Up on the doomed target to at least get something out of their doomed hero. They're like, you're doomed anyway, I'm just going to throw you in, and then he died and bought back. So you have these issues that you're eventually going to solve with just 1 or 2 more items. So I definitely don't want to count Viking out of this yet, based on that fight. There was no chrono as well, though. That's worth keeping in mind. There was no chrono for that fight.
Long-range bomb onto
perfect time.
Celery.
Oof.
tasty delight. 4-19. We're 1 kill away from your dream, Cinderin. I know you're a big 420 guy. You're a big fan.
Dice are scanning.
Big time.
Okay. Never smoked anything in my life, but I do love me some rap music.
You. How did this make that turn all of a sudden? You and I are probably the most boring people in terms of anything related to that subject. But we'll do that for another day.
In terms of life.
Yes, life experience. We're very, very inexperienced. We're little tiny babies. As GPK did gobble up a teammate, but didn't choose to use it. I mean, I think some changes that need to probably be made to gobble up include the cooldown. Quite low. It's 40 seconds without the arcane rune, but 28 with. And I don't know. I don't think they're going to change the range. Maybe the stun duration is too much.
I think there's two things I would like to see. One is the travel time. I think the guy you throw flies too fast. Okay. That's the first thing. And the other thing, I would like it to have a global sound or like a local sound. You know how Monkey King, when he jumps out of Primal Spring, you can always hear it, that it's coming? I think Gobble Up should work the same way. Because what makes it so...
Do you think there's a reason that it needs to have a stun, honestly? Like, I feel like there's
yeah, you could even take
a...
it's probably too weak if it doesn't have a stun.
Really?
It's a 4200
Like, look at this lineup. Look at this lineup.
Sure, I can see it. I think maybe that's a little bit too much. Maybe you give it more damage then, if it doesn't have the stun. Like, you can tweak it in that way.
Yeah,
something like that. Sure.
Well... Boom is gonna get gobbled up again. Here's the Elder Titan, but there's the BKB to activate for Doom, and they're just gonna back up now as a result. And Io saves him in BKB form, so Viking just having to play super passive, but it's definitely not working out right now.
They were not ready to counterplay that. That was a really good BKB. He had a Doom possibility on the Void, but they didn't have heroes near. Oh, that's just a bonus kill on Aramis. Tried to get the bounty rune. Did he get it? He did not. Yeah, he got the rune. Okay, I mean, that's fine. He got the rune, got RP. It's actually not that bad. If they can defend
Everything's
Roche...
fine, as everything dies around you, and Roshan is one of those things, Cinderin.
Yeah, the question is if they can defend this. I guess not. It's kind of like last game. VP controlling that once again.
Yeah, they don't really have the greatest Roche team, but they're quite far ahead. Especially with these pickoffs. I mean, you're right, they could technically fight. They have literally every ultimate they really need to be able to contest something like that, but either way, VP will take it. And Aegis now on Epileptic Kid. So that was the 9-second BKB for Doom. So now already at the 8-second mark for that.
Eyes on top. I don't know if they want to Doom this, to be honest, because he has the Aegis, but... Oh, Aramis. Good cancel on the TP. Yeah, forces the BKB, and that should be... That's the win you're looking for Viking. To start this snowball. It's something. Here comes the bomb.
Oh, I heard it.
Dude, imagine you're walking through the streets of New York, and suddenly Elder Titan just drops in your face, and that you hear that sound before...
Why New York? That was very, that was oddly specific, like to the point where I'm worried for you. That was really weird.
Okay. Imagine you're walking through the streets of somewhere.
All right, you're right. It's
imagine you're walking outside in general right now.
Thank you. It has nothing to do with New York then. Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
It's like when sometimes adding a location to your story just makes it a little, like, it just sounds better, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could have picked literally anything.
I know.
I'm surprised you picked New York. You could have said Copenhagen, you know?
You could.
Why not?
But then you would have asked, where's that?
I hate you so much. Just because I'm an ignorant American, Cinderin. Doesn't mean you need to make fun of me all the time. Jad has his BKB, by the way. Oh, looks like he's went for Blink as
Instant RP.
Onto Doom, into the Elder Titan, but Toby's able to get off his Ravage, but the Chronosphere to counter it right away. Looks like Doom's gonna be the first to fall. Did not get off his ultimate at all, which means Viking have to run away. Shad attempting to get out as Epileptic Kid will moonwalk in front, like right behind him, just taunting him as he chases. But there's the ultimate from Shad into the Stormhammer. He's gonna be able to time walk most of this off. Still has the Aegis, of course. And there was a attempted skewer, but the BKB quickly for Shad. Very nicely done. Maybe a little too cocky time for an Epileptic Kid, but the Aegis was all that he has expended right now. Time walking the time dilation. into the cookie. Looks like it will be a kill onto Armis with that sentry being placed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So VP, I would say technically are very, like the panel we're talking about, very disciplined. It feels like they're playing around a bit right now. I don't know if that's just me. It feels that way.
I think games have a tendency to look like that when you have Snapfire with Godlove, right? Because the game just does get wild.
Maybe.
Like things just start flying around everywhere and you're like, what's happening? But that kind of is the way to play it. A lot of the time. In my mind, VP are playing just very, very... I don't know if discipline is the right word, just structured, right? It makes a lot of sense how they're moving their heroes, how they're casting their spells, the way they choose to prioritize targets. And, like, they got the Roche, right? For example, by RPing the Willow on the top rune. It was very clear, because we're in this area and we can get these kills, this is worth doing. Like, the payoff is very big. And in this last fight, we saw they dropped a lot on Doom to force out his BKB, and then the moment Viking try to take the counter fight because they get their spells off, there's a chrono instantly onto the BKB Doom, and his fight just gets negated. So, like, just playing super solidly around each other. It's awesome to watch this team right now. This is all I can say. Like, they're just playing super good Dota every game I see. They're very rarely slipping up.
Yeah, and we've talked about Vikings so much over the past few weeks and how impressed we are with them. And even though they technically are looking a bit lackluster this series, it feels more like it's VP just outclassing everybody so far in this tournament.
Yeah.
They're just playing so well.
They're really, really good.
RP available, Toby. Obscure into the majority of VP. Toby does not have his Ravage for another 10 seconds. The Chronosphere is going to be used to take him out, along with the BKB.
Why would BK beat that? I mean, if you chrono the Tide there, are you scared of... What are you scared of, exactly? If there's a Terrorize, you're going to hear it. If there's a Sven Stormhammer, you're going to see it. So, maybe a little bit unnecessary in that situation, but playing it safe. I mean, end of the day, it's probably not the biggest deal. He wants to have Chrono and BKB at the same time anyway, so BKB will cool down, but it's -1 second.
So can you talk a little bit of... I know I wouldn't bring up Shad and his build very much, but I'm interested because he had a Blink Dagger Q, changed his mind, he's going for Abyssal now. Like, what's the reason not to go for Ag
Time is money.
this game? He had that queued for a bit as well, but then changed his mind.
Yeah, I guess if you look at what you're flying into, it's pretty dangerous territory. You're flying into... The panel mentioned this as well, right? You're flying into Chrono RP and an ET Aura, so... There's just a lot of threats when you reposition yourself like that. So maybe he decided like the risks don't...
Nice
Terrorize combo.
Follow. Toby has the Ravage, not going to even need it. Bedlam doing massive damage with that Curse Crown in addition.
Nicely done.
And Viking gets 2 easy kills. Tier 1 tower.
Good stuff.
As well.
Yeah, and they didn't even use anything big for that. That was just Aramis. That was all that Ramble plus Terrorize combo. They still have all their spells. They have Doom. They have Sven ulti BKB. This is probably just flat out 2 towers lost. You don't have Chrono, so you can't really contest them here. And Viking with a big comeback move there, taking advantage of the cooldown on Chrono primarily.
Oh, the buyback into the gobble up. Looks like Celery's going to be the one to fall. Ravage is only on 1 hero, essentially. Make it 2 with the Magnus in tow as well. And that's 3 dead, including the dieback onto the Magnus. So VP getting crushed. Void is left in the midst of this as well. So the last remaining member is gpk. Only a buyback from Viking onto Io was used.
That was...
Good lord.
That was a bit wild. Mag didn't get RP off. He got Stormhammered and died. They toss in the Void who has BKB, and he does get the Io. Like you said, buybacks available, so you get the relocate play. And with Arcana come up, like, you have to acknowledge how much damage you're lacking by not having your Elder Titan. He's such a huge part of your lineup. Just as I praise VP for almost nothing mistakes, that was reckless. That was actually flat out just crazy trying to defend that tower. 3v5. Sure, you buy back your mag, so it's like... I don't know. I just don't think you take that fight without Chrono. You don't have solutions for this one. Yeah, that was massive. Look, oh my god. Maybe don't look at the win expectancy graph.
My hotkey never works for us, so I literally can't check it anyway.
Alright, well, it went from, I want to say, what was the old number? Almost like 86% or something for the Dire to 40 in 2 minutes. So
they still have a chance.
They basically more than lost their entire lead, which, you know, is pretty much what happened. Let's see if Sven's build changes. It does not. He's still going Abyssal, but or at least the Basher. He's queuing up Daedalus, so maybe he'll change.
So this game just flipped on its head instantly And I think the next power spike for VP is this level 20 gpk Snapfire. He has the BKB Ags along with the Blink Dagger for extra mobility, but we'll be going for Daedalus next. But that level 20 is when you unlock the Will Shredder, uses your attack damage. And that's when he starts to feel like a true core. DM. They're going to be able to find this easy one. Alright, the animation of that when it's like super short range is pretty awful, actually. It looks comical, at the very least.
You were talking about physics earlier. Makes sense.
Yeah, that is physics. That's true. Man, the fact that you can use Ags just to farm as well is kind of crazy. And just push these lanes.
It is really, really good. Does it kill a full wave? It's close, right? It does, right? 400 impact damage, 100 burn damage. Yeah, it kills a full wave.
All right, so with that influx of gold going the way of Viking, Shad, obviously, I think he had the Skull Basher for that fight. We'll be going for finishing the Abyssal Blade this time around. So a pseudo blink of sorts. And Daedalus is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid, in the meantime, his counterpartner on this Faceless Void has the MKB, basically going the same build that we saw last time around, I believe, with the SNY.
Against Doom, same logic. He's going to go SNY Satanic against the Doom. This time around, they have a pseudo save in the Snapfire Blink plus Gobble Up, so they can try to get people out of trouble against Doom. But you're playing that into Ravage, which you have a BKB for, so it's more reliable. Oh, you will mid.
Yeah, pressure is applied. RP is used on the BKB Doom. Shad, looks like the consolation prize is going to be this Magnus, and if you're VP, you're kind of okay with that. He's taken out. Could have been a lot worse because they know that the God Strength has been used and Roshan is not quite up right now. Another 45 seconds, a little bit of bad luck, but there's the initiation onto Faceless Void. Epileptic Kid gets doomed. They do have Gobble Up, and gpk with that BKB ensures that at least the Void will live. It'll cost him his own life, but well worth. And like I said, with this God Strength, what else can they get with this? Because Roshan's not up for another 30 seconds. You do have buyback onto the Snapfire. Tier 2s are still available for top and even the tier 1 bottom, actually.
Yep.
A little surprising.
I think just grabbing the 4 bounty runes and waiting for your Doom cooldown is probably great, and getting the top outpost so you have more map control. Makes you wonder if you could have waited a little bit longer on that Gobble Up, because you get yourself really way out of position there. He's probably scared of a potential of getting caught by a Stormhammer or Ravage out of Fog, but if he waits longer and lets Void run first, you might actually be able to just flat out save you both. By chilling, let Void run a bit further, then you BKB Gobble Up, and you could bust him out and maybe blink away, or you could... Because he used his blink to get in, that was the problem. He blinked into Gobble Up, and then he obviously can't get out again.
Well, you pretty much have to, right? The range on Gobble Up is excruciating. It's basically melee range.
It's bad, but the Void also wasn't going to instantly die there, right? He has 2.4k health, 20 armor, and the status systems we talked about before, so... It's easy for us to say with our vision. The idea of saving him is definitely...
You're the one saying it, not me.
Yeah, stop
You're
saying
the one backseating, Cinder, not me. Just want to be clear. Roshan...
Stop telling me how to cast.
Beat down by Epileptic.
I don't like backseat casting.
I'm gonna backseat cast you anytime. Already at half health. Remember, the Elder Titan is kind of the...
And no Doom for 25.
Big hero here. I know that the ultimate is down. Iliad is going to find RMS to start things out, but there's TM. Oh, they actually do not synergize this very well. A little bit of miscommunication as Roshan's getting quite low, but they do get the Dark Willow, who buys back into the game. Chronosphere still available. Boom, taking most of the damage. There's the RP used on BKB Doom again and taken out in quick succession. No buyback for him, so back to the pit we go for Epileptic Kid. Toby already popped this Ravage. Rise. Can they get the Aegis? Who's going to get it? gpk gets the kill. And the Aegis to be more on Epileptic Kid. And there's a huge Chronosphere onto one hero. Just huge, I'd say. But the other Titan also follows, dealing a lot of damage as a result. Remember, the Aegis is still on for Void, so you might watch the safety if you really watch it. No, for the right call. Sven is dead. Everybody is dying left, right, and center for Viking. And this game has turned around again. This time for VP, Cinderin. Jesus.
Oh,
Jesus.
That was so... Yeah, that looked like a scary start for VP, exactly like you said. The Void time walked over the pit, and then they skewered the guy into the pit, but the Snapfire still made quick work of Aramis's Willow. Has to buy back and reconnect to the fight, but it's such a long run. He has to TP to tier 2, has to run all the way to the fight, and when he arrives, there's already the kitchen's already burning, and you couldn't really put out the fires. There's too much going on, too many problems to solve. The chrono from just honestly really nice awareness from VP to not take the Aegis on Snapfire there. That was a high intensity and panic moment, right? You're out of the pit, the Rosh is on like 1% HP, Snap kills the Rosh, doesn't take it, Boy time walks in, takes it, and then chronos the Sven. And then they get this beautiful 3-man gobble up into Snapfire Cookie and just clean house. That was really, really well done from VP. And again, Viking playing a good fight. Like, their spellcasting I thought was really nice there. They just were lacking a couple of pieces. They didn't have Doom. That was the main story of that fight.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I mean, I guess both lineups kind of have this issue with these long, really long cooldowns, but the difference is even if you use RP, I feel like you can still fight, right? You have so much initiation possibilities with like literally every combination you can think of, for the most part.
Their team fights insane, as long as they start in a simple way, right? That's the problem that ET Mag plus Void lineups have sometimes, is that they all want to get this big ulti, right? So who goes first? But if you either start with Blink Skewer, or especially with the Gobble Up, you force the enemy team to react, and once they react, that's when the grouping up happens. And that's when you get those wild combos off. So, I actually really love the Snapfire to complement this type of lineup. I think it's very, very good.
Epileptic Kid farming the jungle, still has the Aegis, so not sure if Viking even wants to go on him right now, but DM in pretty good position. Link in with the Shiva's pop by Boom, so showing off that combination. His VKB is already down to 5 seconds, by the way. That's something to keep note of, along with Epileptic Kid. So these VKBs have been used quite liberally. I mean, there've been a lot more fighting this time around versus last game, for sure. I mean, but we still have the same issue where looking at the kill discrepancy is enormous. Mid lane racks in favor of Viking, but they're still down in net worth. So weird.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, this whole mid lane thing is the biggest mistake we've seen from VP all series, though. It was flat out just overconfidence trying to defend the mid tier 2 tower. So if they don't make a massive blunder, we're not in this spot. But they reset very well. Such a terrible mistake can really tilt some teams, and they can just throw the game away, but they found their composure again, took some good fights, made a super good call going for that Rosh just off the cooldown on Doom. They felt confident they could do it, and they were right. Now they could be the next to take Elena Barracks, unless Viking can somehow force them bottom. Looks like it will happen from the Void so far, following the IO.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a potential Chronosphere target, but it is not to be. So again, 3k net worth lead for VP. They still have the Aegis, still have the cheese. And I mean, I'm interested in Shad's progression now. So is able to finish the Daedalus, but will not have buyback. And I assume he will wait for that buyback.
I don't know what you should do here.
Again, Boom goes for the bonus gold talent again on the Doombringer.
Yep.
Maybe that's just something he does every game regardless. Like, some of it could be personal preference as well, right?
I mean, it is kind of about how much, like we've said it like 3 times, but the flow of the game, right? If you hit level 15 late, the Scorched Earth damage, unless you imagine it makes a big difference in the fight, just kind of falls off. Against a lot of things like BKBs or heroes having lifesteal, it becomes largely insignificant in a lot of situations. Whereas the Devour bonus gold will always matter in longer games. Maybe that's just how I was thinking.
Well, here's another interesting progression. gpk, who originally had, I believe it was a Daedalus lined up, or queued up, I should say, ends up going for Lincoln Sphere instead. So, not wanting to get doomed, obviously. Still went for the little Shredder attack damage talent.
Yep.
I assume the damage will follow. Actually going for Boots of Travel next. Huh. Okay. As the tier 4 items will start to drop now, Cinderman. The most exciting part of the game is when the items drop from the jungle. Ooh, Witless Shaco. Excellent item. One of my personal favorites for my supports.
Yeah, I love it playing support on a lot of heroes. I wonder who would give it to this game. Just put it on the IO. Does he have enough mana with that?
Yeah, with mech costing 225 mana as well.
I don't know if he can support it. They gave it to Doom. Yeah, he has enough. With the Shiva, he can do it. If he didn't have a Shiva, he couldn't actually carry this item. Then he would have, like... I don't know, he could not even use his spells once each. But now he can. It's alright.
Roshan or the Aegis, I should say, is now gone, of course.
Are scanning.
Still have the cheese to work with, as VP are just kind of resetting here. Another Witless Choco for each respective side now. Flicker, one of my personal favorites. Gives ridiculous amounts of move speed. The blink can get you killed, unfortunately, but it is a nice dispel. Which
not much to dispel here, though.
Drop for.
Unseen.
It's going to be on Sven. Oh, he found one.
Oh, wait, it dropped for the Radiant. Okay, because, like, if you're the Dire and you get Flicker here, you... Okay, what can you dispel? You can't dispel Brambles, because you can't break Root
Gush
first and then
slow.
dispel.
Boom.
True. You can dispel Gush. And for the other side, you can dispel... Crystal Nova.
You can also dispel Tether slow, Cinderin.
Oh, yeah.
Very important.
We've seen that play a big role in this game. Io has definitely been playing very aggressively.
Hey, I'm just being technically correct just to annoy you, okay?
Yep. Doing a good job of that.
Thank you.
On the daily.
Ooh, Spell
Dire's
Prism.
bottom tower
Okay.
is under attack.
Who do you give that to? I don't know if you keep it on the Snap. Snap wants the Timeless Relic, so maybe it's really good on ET. I think Meg wants to keep his Craggy Coat because he's kind of playing as the frontliner for their strategy, really soaking up a lot of that damage. They will give... Okay, they'll give the Relic over to Titan and then the Spell Prism on Snap. I actually like that more. That's really good too. Very, very nice.
So 32-second Gobble up now. 88-second ult. Good, clean stuff.
Yep.
And Epileptic Kid is looking super stacked. So now has the Butterfly Satanic F and Y.
Decked out. And Empower.
Now,
never forget the Empower.
He goes for the backtrack again. Yep. Top of that Empower will likely just be looking for an Ags to eat, I would assume. Or maybe turn S and Y into something else. I don't know.
Could go for Moonshard too, if you wanted to.
Ags gotta be better than Moonshard. Same cost too, essentially.
Is under attack.
I'm trying to think of what, like, your Ags would have to be complete dog to get that over a Moonshard. Moonshard is just a Hyperstone, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, on Void you definitely get Axe, so you're right. That is
Radiant
for sure the better choice.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I think you should go Axe.
No, say you're right.
Nobody had suggested that, so I'm going to suggest it. It's a good idea.
All right. Thanks, Cinder. Great analysis. Boom. Yep. Showing off this Ninja Gear. This is one of my favorites, actually. I love this item. Giving you a personal smoke.
You've mentioned 3 items so far being one of your favorites.
I just love items. Is that so wrong, Cinderin? Huh?
Well, maybe you should farm more.
Look at the name. When you use
items.
Ninja Gear, it's called Solitary Disguise. That's got to be one of the coolest names in the entire game.
Solitary Disguise.
Yeah, it's great.
That's when you hide to play cards.
All right,
You'll get it someday.
I wish I could use a cricket sound right now to show you my feelings for that joke.
Did you actually get it?
No, I didn't get it. No. Just shut up and watch the game, okay? Just pay attention to the game. Epileptic Kid is level 26. Looks like Chad is 25 now as well, so he ends up going to God Strength Damage talent. Very nicely done. And I do believe those are the only 25s in the game right now. My goodness, Cinderin, if this game goes to level 25 for Snapfire, he gets 1 damage item. This little Shredder multi-shot, I don't know if you've seen it. It's so
nasty.
Broken.
It is nasty. Snap's talents are amazing. Level 20 and 25 talents are incredible. All of them. Also, if you're playing support, the other talents are great. Skewer?
All right, well, yeah. Celery has been brought to the other, or Armus, I should say, brought to the other side of the map.
Oh, that's something you can flicker off. The time dilation. That was actually nice, but he died anyway. Yeah. But that is definitely a flicker value against that spell. Yeah. Unfortunately, you usually just get insta-killed by Void, but if you do manage to flicker it off, that can be nice.
This is going to be the 3rd Roche in 30 seconds, right? If I'm not mistaken. There hasn't been a Refresher Shard, I don't think so.
Yes.
This will be a Refresher Shard or Ags. If you're VP, probably hoping for that Ag. Well, never mind. You have really good Refresher Shard targets as well. It really doesn't matter. For both respective sides, in fact. So they're just posturing themselves in order to take this without a potential contest, but boom, and company will We've said it feels like this is a common thing this series. They have to contest this, I think.
Yeah.
Which is very important. It's a refresher shard.
They do have to contest this. Doom smoke for the ninja gear. See if they can find an angle. They do have the vision, of course, from that tide illusion. No longer. VP are going to back off and smoke. Try to make the wraparound. It's being drawn on the map.
Yep, Toby on the high ground looking to block that. Oh, Spirit misses on everybody, and the Ravage onto 4. Doom is going to get the beautiful hook stomp into the Doom as well, and that is DM's demise at the very least, and then Cleave comes through. Oh my god, the damage to follow from VP. Good lord, Sven dies in his ult form, so buying back won't be nearly as effective as there's the gobble up onto the Epileptic Kid. They're going to be able to kill another hero for Viking, so that is 5 buybacks onto Viking. And remember, every ultimate is basically down, the important ones at least.
Don't you just love when you miss all your spells and you just kill them anyway?
Yeah, what the balls was that?
Well, to be fair, they only really missed the chrono. They still have RPOs unused, and that the Earth Splitter plus ET Aura were nasty in that fight, and they will get the Roche.
Yeah, they get it, no contest this time around. Like,
here comes Flying Void.
Yeah, gobble up. That is pretty rough stuff. Boom. Gonna be safe for now. Do they have any vision is the question. Oh, but they know he must be in the trees.
Guess the wrong side. Nice juke. He has a blink dagger.
No TP up.
Didn't blink yet.
Though.
Yo, he didn't blink.
Okay, finds him. Boom is dead.
Oh, killed the range creep as well, just for style points.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Cinder, I don't know if you agree with me that if like Sven ulted and obviously got a kill. I'm not saying he shouldn't have ulted, but in theory, if he hadn't ulted and then died and bought back, they probably could have contested Roche. But the fact that his ult was on cooldown, he just doesn't do anything, it feels like.
Yeah. And essentially that means you threw a lot of buybacks at nothing. That is really expensive, because I think your heroes would have been alive by now without all the buyouts, but it is so easy to say from our perspective that they don't do that. In the heat of the moment, you want to throw everything at defending this Roche. We just can't. When you lose that first fight, no Ravage, no Doom, no God Strength. It's just not happening. VP, they're going to keep getting the next tower.
If they can get this lane, it will equalize the mid lane, believe it or not.
Oh, they're looking for gpk mid. Creative play here.
Okay.
BKB.
Yeah. Oh, not able to get to the high ground, so without the Snapfire, it looks like VP has to backtail away here.
Really like that from Viking. That was super good. That is actually the best possible way for them to defend their mid lane, is to kill the Snap pushing out that wave. Nicely done.
All right, so in terms of building Cinderin, or at least racks specifically, it's an even game. Unfortunately for Viking fans out there, VP is at a severe advantage in terms of net worth, and we are at the 9k net or 9k extra gold on Epileptic Kid. So I would assume this Ags or maybe Moon Shard comes. It will be the Ags.
Yeah,
he can just buy that right now if he wants.
Yep, he's going to buy the upgraded Ags. He has not enough gold for buyback, so he's actually going to wait, I think. Well, this wave should do it, pretty much.
Another courier killed RMS. Will it cost him his life? The answer to that is yes. He's dead. He has died for a courier. That is how he feels his life.
No buyback. And Snapfire could spawn, sell Soul Ring, and have travels. So this could be a flat-out 5-on-4 for 50 seconds in the enemy base. That's actually a pretty big death. I think VP are going to go for the win here off of that. They have 2 Chronos, Aegis. Do they still have the cheese? They do not seem to have a cheese. So they have Aegis and Refresher and a man advantage. Straight down mid.
And not to mention, Snapfire has hit 25 and finished the Daedalus. So we're going to see this little shredder beat the crap out of some people. No doubt about it. So this is going to be a mid-rax that's completely uncontested here. You can see Shad just taking out the tier 2 in the top lane, which indicates to VP that they won't find any resistance here, but they obviously will need to defend this mega creep potential in the bottom lane. I would assume that is a yes, so we'll see. Toby with the Blink Ravage available, literally everything is online now. But like you said, the man advantage is for VP. Fortifications pop. Oh, Shad is actually going into the enemy base. So he's going to pop that ult into the tier 4. Just trying to force out TP. He does just that. This will buy them a little bit of time, but the question is, can Epileptic Kid and company get any value out of this? They're going to find Celery at the very least. Is that enough is the question. Bottom lane in the meantime, Tidehunter is dead. We missed the Snapfire just beating the crap out of people with this little shredder. Just ridiculous damage. It's going to be back online in 2 seconds again. But Viking able to get at least a couple kills. But it's at a heavy, heavy cost.
Yeah, there's still main advantage for VP and they have their spells. So sure, you recover that gem as Radiant, or rather you steal it away from the ET, but there's no buyback on Tide, no buyback on IO. You have Chrono, you have Snapfire ulti, you have Gobble Up ready again.
Radiant's bottom
It seems
tower
almost
is under
impossible to defend.
You still have a gem on Radiant as well. But Divine Rapier is on Sven right now. And
That's
GPK deletes a hero. That tends to happen with the 25 Snapfire for sure. As Sven is in the top lane without a TP, Synderin. He is in the top lane without a TP.
Radiant's bottom.
This reminds me of what my carries do in pubs when they give up. They're just like, whatever. Going to the side lane until the game ends.
I guess that's how this game... Oh my god. That is actually ridiculous. Snapfire for the win.
Sven is going for the... He's going for the throne. Base race.
He's attempting.
Can he do it? He almost has a tower down to half.
Good attempt, my friend. I mean, it's not like he would have made much of a difference.